Hey everyone, welcome to the ArVa 8180 podcast. This is your host Arnold, speaking from the heart of Borneo. Here, we talk real life, big dreams, small wins, and everything in between. If you're looking for honest stories, deep talks, and a little bit of laughter, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic: what it's like to work at Pertamina, one of Southeast Asia's biggest state-owned enterprises.
Yeah, Pertamina's name alone carries weight in Indonesia. It's not just a job, it's almost a national institution. But what does it really mean to work there?
Let's start with the basics. Pertamina operates across the oil and gas value chain, upstream, midstream, and downstream. That means tons of roles, from engineers to economists.
And geologists to legal analysts. It's a complex ecosystem. But people often ask, what kind of culture are you walking into?
From what I've seen, Pertamina is highly structured. It's very hierarchical, like many other SOEs. That can feel a bit formal at first.
But there's also a strong sense of purpose. Employees often say they feel like they're contributing to the country's energy security.
There's definitely pride, but it also comes with pressure. You're expected to uphold high standards, especially because you're in the public eye.
And speaking of pressure, safety is a huge deal there. Whether you're at a refinery or in an office, safety protocols are taken seriously.
Absolutely. I heard during onboarding, employees go through pretty intensive safety training, even non-technical staff.
Makes sense. Energy is high risk. But let's talk about the hiring process. It's not exactly a walk in the park, is it?
Nope. It's competitive. There's a written test, psychological test, interviews, sometimes more than one, and even medical exams.
And if you're fresh out of university, they often route you through their management trainee program.
That's right. It's like their golden ticket. A structured program with rotations and mentorship.
But once you're in, what's day-to-day life like?
It depends a lot on where you're placed. If you're in upstream, say exploration, it could mean weeks at a drilling site.
While downstream roles might be based in Jakarta or another city with regular office hours.
But even then, work can spill over into evenings, especially during audits or project rollouts.
Yeah, bureaucracy hours can stretch long, but many say the benefits make up for it.
Good salary, health insurance, retirement plans, and even housing allowances in some positions.
Not to mention the learning opportunities. They often send staff to international trainings or conferences.
There's also a push now for digital transformation, so roles in data science or digital operations are growing fast.
That's a big shift. The energy sector isn't just about pipes and platforms anymore. It's also about AI, automation, and analytics.
True. Pertamina's trying to stay competitive, especially with global energy shifting toward renewables.
Which brings up another thing. How is it to work on green energy projects inside Pertamina?
It's emerging. They've started ventures in geothermal, bioenergy, and even hydrogen trials.
But those teams are still small. So if you're into sustainability, it's an exciting frontier, but also one with growing pains.
You might need to juggle innovation with legacy systems and policies that haven't caught up.
That's part of the challenge, right? Balancing tradition with transformation.
Exactly. It's not Silicon Valley, but that's also the appeal for some, impacting national infrastructure, not just a mobile app.
There's also a sense of solidarity among employees, maybe because so many of them come through the same internal training.
And stay for years, some for their whole careers. That builds deep institutional knowledge.
But could also mean resistance to change, no?
Sure. Some employees say it takes time to push new ideas, but once it gets buy-in from the top, things can move fast.
That's why leadership matters a lot there. Your direct supervisor can make or break your experience.
And mentorship is a big part of growth. Seniors often guide juniors, sometimes very closely.
Speaking of growth, how about promotion? Is it merit-based?
In theory, yes, but in practice, like many large organizations, networking helps. Relationships matter.
Which might surprise people who think it's just about technical skills.
Soft skills count too, like how you communicate, manage teams, or navigate internal politics.
And language. Most work is in Bahasa Indonesia, but English helps if you're dealing with international partners.
Especially in procurement, finance, or overseas projects. They do have partnerships with global firms.
That's one thing people don't realize. Pertamina isn't just domestic. They have stakes in oil blocks overseas.
And that can mean overseas postings. Not common, but possible if you're in the right role.
Let's not forget, Pertamina also goes through frequent restructuring. That can be stressful.
Yeah, realignment of business units, new subsidiaries, it can get confusing.
But it's also part of modernization. They're trying to be leaner, more agile.
And more profitable. Remember, even though it's state-owned, it still needs to compete in the market.
That dual identity, state duty versus business performance, makes the job complex.
But also fulfilling for some, especially if you like challenges that are bigger than just personal success.
That's a good way to put it. You're not just advancing your career, you're shaping national energy policy in small ways.
Exactly. It's not for everyone, but for those who thrive on responsibility, it's ideal.
So, would you recommend someone fresh out of college to apply?
If they're ready to commit to a structured environment and want to make an impact, yes.
And if they prefer fast-paced startups?
Maybe not the best fit, but even then, Pertamina offers stability and scale that few companies can.
So, final thoughts.
Working at Pertamina is like working in a mini country. It's big, complex, traditional, but full of opportunities.
And with energy evolving fast, there's never been a more interesting time to be part of it.
Exactly. Whether you're a geologist or a digital strategist, there's a place for you.
And maybe that's the biggest takeaway. Pertamina isn't static. It's evolving. And so can you, if you join.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Think about what kind of impact you want to make and where.
Catch you next time. Maybe we'll talk about what it takes to lead in an energy company.
Sounds like a plan. Until then, stay curious.
Output initialization.
Thanks for being with us on ArVa 8180 podcast. We hope today's episode sparked your curiosity and gave you something to reflect on. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. And hey, share it with someone who might need a little twist of perspective today. See you in the next episode. Until then, keep questioning what's behind the mask. This is ArVa 8180, signing off.